Hello, wonderful brains. A very warm welcome to your English reader class with your friend Aprajita. So, here we start with the Acknowledge series of your language Odyssey by Amit Publishing House, Class 5. So, children, today let's start chapter number 6. And the chapter is The Caged Bird. Caged means पिंजरे के अंदर bird. Fine, you understand what is a cage? Cage को पिंजरे को बोलते हैं cage, and the caged bird means the bird inside the cage. So, before we start reading the story, let's read something about the story. Nobody likes to be in cages or under any restrictions. किसी को भी पिंजरे के अंदर रहना पसंद नहीं है. कोई एनिमल हो या बर्ड हो या आप हम भी किसी restrictions में रहना पसंद नहीं करते. If we are put under so many restrictions, we also feel very uncomfortable. Then why are we doing the same with innocent and speechless birds and other animals? अगर हमें restrictions में रहना पसंद नहीं है, हमें बंदिशों में रहना पसंद नहीं है, हमें कोई पिंजरे में बंद कर दे तो क्या हो? तो हम इन बेजुबान जानवरों को या बर्ड्स को, छोटी छोटी बर्ड्स को अपने एंटरटेनमेंट के लिए क्यों केज में बंद करते हैं? दिस स्टोरी विल गिव अस अ न्यू पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. तो इस स्टोरी को पढ़ते हैं, देखते हैं इसमें से हमें क्या सीखने को मिलता है, कुछ नया. Anand was the most popular boy in the school and his locality as well. Anand is a boy और वो बहुत पॉपुलर था अपने फ्रेंड्स के बीच में और जहां वो रहता था वहां पे उसका बहुत नाम. He always stood first in the class. In sports too he was a champion. क्लास में हमेशा फर्स्ट आता था, स्पोर्ट्स में भी वो चैंपियन था. As a result he had a lot of friends. Anand had developed a hobby of collecting different kinds of birds. Anand को एक हॉबी थी आनंद की अलग अलग तरह के बर्ड्स को इकट्ठा करना. He spent most of his pocket money on buying them. अपनी जितनी भी पॉकेट मनी थी वो इन बर्ड्स को खरीदने में स्पेंड करता. One of the rooms in his house and the veranda were full of bird cages. He took great interest in feeding and looking after them. उसका जो एक रूम था वो पूरा पिंजरों से इन बर्ड्स के पिंजरों से भरा हुआ था और वरांडे में भी अलग अलग तरीके के बर्ड के केजेस और वो उनको खिलाना भी उसको बहुत अच्छा लगता और अच्छे से देखभाल भी करता. The amusing and funny moments of the birds, their chirping and twittering thrilled him and his friends. जो बर्ड्स अलग अलग तरीके के वो करती थी, फनी मोमेंट्स करती थी. फनी मोमेंट्स मीन्स वो उछलती कूदती थी, उड़ती थी पिंजरे के अंदर थोड़ा थोड़ा. वो देख के उसको बहुत अच्छा लगता था. उसके फ्रेंड्स भी इंजॉय करते थे उनकी आवाजों को, उनके खेल कूद को, सब चीजें इंजॉय करते थे. His house looked like a मेला all the time. हर वक्त उसके घर में मेला सा लगा रहता था. If his younger sister ever protested, Anand turned a deaf ear to her objections. कभी अगर उसकी छोटी बहन ने ऑब्जेक्शन भी किया, कुछ कहा भी इसके बारे में, तो वो सुनता ही नहीं था अपनी बहन. Now, however, his parents did not like it, but they did not object because Anand was an obedient and hard-working child. Anand एक बहुत आज्ञाकारी बच्चा था और हार्ड वर्किंग भी था, अपनी पढ़ाई में भी बहुत अच्छा था. तो इसलिए उसके पेरेंट्स, हालांकि उसके पेरेंट्स को अच्छा नहीं लगता था ये सब, लेकिन फिर भी वो मना नहीं करते थे. However, their neighbors were worried because their children spent most of their time in watching the birds. अब जो उसके नेबर्स थे, पड़ोसी, वो लोग बहुत चिंतित रहते थे क्योंकि उनके बच्चे ज्यादातर अपना टाइम इन बर्ड्स को देखने में ही निकालते थे. The guardians had no idea how to solve this problem. The children were simply fascinated by the antics of the birds. Now, Guardians means one who looks after the child, जो बच्चों की देखभाल करते हैं. और fascinated means attracted. ये बच्चे जो थे वो अट्रैक्ट होते थे और बाय द एंटिक्स ऑफ द बर्ड मीन ट्रिक्स, जो बर्ड्स ट्रिक्स खेलती थी, अंदर जो खेल कूद करती थी, उससे ये बच्चे बहुत अट्रैक्ट थे. One Sunday morning, Anand's parents told him that they had to visit a relative living in the town. They wanted Anand to accompany them, but he showed his reluctance. Now, what happened? One Sunday morning, उसके पेरेंट्स ने बोला, आनंद के पेरेंट्स ने, कि हमें एक रिलेटिव के घर जो टाउन में रहते हैं वहां जाना है मिलने. तो अनंत को भी उन्होंने बोला कि तुम भी साथ चलो, लेकिन अनंत ने रिफ्यूज कर दिया, उसने जाने की इच्छा नहीं जताई. Anand wanted to spend the day with his friends and fowls. Now, वो अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ अपना दिन स्पेंड करना चाहता. His parents agreed but warned him that he should not go outside the house. उसके पेरेंट्स ने कहा ओके ठीक है, लेकिन आप घर से बाहर नहीं जाएंगे. They would lock the main entrance as there had been frequent incidents of daylight burglary as well as child lifting. उसके पेरेंट्स ने बोला हम मेन एंट्रेंस जो है उसको लॉक करके जाएंगे क्योंकि चारों तरफ चोरी और बच्चों को उठाने के वारदात हुए हैं, तो इसलिए हम घर का जो मेन एंट्रेंस है उसे लॉक करके जाएंगे. Anand agreed most willingly to comply with their orders and called all his friends to his home. अब अनंत ने क्या कहा? अनंत मान गया ये बात और उसने सारे फ्रेंड्स अपने घर बुलाए. His mother prepared food for Anand and his friends and left home at 10 a.m. after locking the house from outside. अब उसकी मदर ने अनंत के लिए, उसके फ्रेंड्स के लिए खाना बनाया और 10 a.m. वो चले गए, घर का मेन एंट्रेंस लॉक. For Anand and his friends, it was a great day because there was no one to stop them from having fun and frolic. Fun and frolic. What is fun and frolic? Enjoyment. मस्ती करने से उनको कोई रोकने वाला नहीं था. उनके लिए ये बहुत बड़ा था. They sang and danced, played and jumped as they liked. जैसा उनका मन चाहा उन्होंने गाने गाए, खेले कूदे. At 1 p.m. they rummaged through the refrigerator and kitchen drawers and ate their food. अब उनको भूख लगी. 1 p.m. पे उन्होंने क्या किया? रेफ्रिजरेटर खोला, सब जगह से जो भी खाने की चीज थी सब निकाल के उन्होंने भरपेट खाया. Then they watched the activities of the birds. अब वो बर्ड्स की एक्टिविटीज देखने लगे. They enjoyed their chirping and fluttering of wings. वो अपने पंख फड़फड़ाती है ना बर्ड्स, तो पिंजरे के अंदर वो पंख फड़फड़ाती थी और चिरपिंग करती थी, तो उन फ्रेंड्स को और अनंत को बड़ा मजा आया. Gradually the pleasure began to wear off. Soon it was 3 p.m. The younger ones got tired of all this and wanted to go home. अब धीरे धीरे क्या हुआ, सबकी एनर्जी डाउन होने लगी. जो छोटे बच्चे थे वो 3 बजे करीब वो घर जाना चाहते थे, अपने घर जाना चाहते थे. To their disappointment, the house was locked from the outside. Now what happened to me? अब आनंद के पेरेंट्स तो बाहर से लॉक लगा के गए थे, लेकिन तो वो फ्रेंड्स कैसे जाते बाहर, अपने घर कैसे जाते? Some of them peeped out of the window bars while the others waited. Once again they engaged themselves in playing hide and seek, but that too did not entertain them. वो विंडो के बाहर देखने लगे और फिर से अपने आप को उन्होंने खेलने में बिजी कर लिया, हाइड एंड सीक खेलने के, बट वो भी ज्यादा देर तक नहीं चली. It was 4 p.m. Yet there was no sign of Anand's parents. Forgetting everything, the children waited silently for them to return. Now, 4 भी बज गए शाम के, लेकिन आनंद के पेरेंट्स नहीं आए वापस. और ये सब बच्चे अब सब कुछ भूल के शांति से बैठ गए और वेट करने लगे आनंद के पेरेंट्स के आने. Anand initiated a quiz from a magazine while the others guessed the answer. This way time passed and soon it was evening. अब अनंत ने क्या किया, एक मैगजीन में से क्विज लिया और क्विज खेलने लगा वो अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ. ऐसे करके शाम. Now they all looked towards the road, but it was deserted as a world. Anand tried his best to pacify them, but some had tears in their eyes and some were on the verge of crying. अब क्विज भी फिनिश हो गया, शाम हो गई, सब रोड की तरफ देखने लगे, लेकिन अनंत के पेरेंट्स नहीं आए. कोई भी नहीं दिखा उन्हें रोड पे. अब कुछ बच्चों के आंखों में आंसू आ गए, कुछ तो बिल्कुल रोने ही वाले थे. All of a sudden, Anand's eyes fell on the cages. He felt he too was like the birds in the cage. अब अनंत की अचानक आंख पड़ी बर्ड्स के केजेस पे. उसको लगा कि आज वो सभी इन बर्ड्स की तरह हैं जो कि पिंजरे में बंद हैं. At about 7 p.m., Anand's parents returned. They had been caught in a traffic jam and were therefore delayed. 7 के 7 बजे अनंत के पेरेंट्स वापस आए क्योंकि वो ट्रैफिक जैम में फंस गए. The children beamed with joy on their arrival. वो उछल पड़े, खुशी से उछल पड़े बच्चे जैसे ही अनंत के पेरेंट्स आए. As soon as the front door was unlocked, the children rushed to their homes. जैसे ही उन्होंने एंट्रेंस वाला डोर खोला, उसके पेरेंट्स ने सारे बच्चे भाग के अपने अपने घर चले. The next morning, Anand got up very early and set all the birds free. अब नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग जब अनंत जल्दी उठा थोड़ा और उसने सारे पिंजरों के डोर खोल दिए, सारे पिंजरे खोल दिए और सब बर्ड्स को उड़ जाने दिए. When his mother asked the reason for the sudden change, Anand explained, "Mummy, yesterday for the first time I learned what it was like to be imprisoned." अनंत की मदर ने जब पूछा कि तुमने ऐसा क्यों किया, ऐसा सडन चेंज तुम में कैसे आया, तो अनंत ने कहा कि कल पहली बार मुझे इम्प्रिजनमेंट क्या होता है, एक पिंजरे के अंदर बंद होना क्या होता है, कैसी फीलिंग आती है, वो उसका पता चला. We were inside the house only for some hours. Imagine the distress of the birds who are caged all the time. So I have freed them. हम तो कुछ ही घंटों के लिए घर के अंदर बंद हुए थे, लेकिन इन बर्ड्स का क्या जो कि कब से इस पिंजरे के अंदर कैद थे, इसलिए मैंने इन सबको उड़ा दिया पिंजरे से बाहर. His mother embraced him most affectionately. Embraced का मतलब हग करना, गले लगाना, और affection with affection, प्यार के साथ मदर ने अनंत को गले लगाया. Thank God you have realized the importance of freedom, haven't you? मदर ने बोला, अब तुम्हें फ्रीडम का मतलब पता चला कि फ्रीडम क्या होता है, फ्रीडम किसे कहते हैं, फ्री होना किसे कहते हैं. Yes, Anand nodded his head with a smile and ran outside. अनंत ने बोला, यस मदर, अब मुझे पता चल गया कि फ्रीडम की वैल्यू क्या होती है, फ्रीडम मतलब क्या होता है वो भी पता चल गया, और फ्रीडम की वैल्यू क्या होती है वो भी. इन अ नटशेल, अगर हम इसको एक नटशेल में डालें, हमने क्या पढ़ा इसमें. इन दिस स्टोरी वी हैव लर्न्ड अबाउट द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ फ्रीडम. फ्रीडम की क्या इम्पोर्टेंस होती है, क्या महत्व होता है फ्रीडम. All the birds also have right to freedom and they look beautiful in the sky. Yes, birds का habitat sky है. उनको sky में उड़ने देना चाहिए, उन्हें cage में बंद नहीं करना चाहिए. Birds are incarnated living beings and shouldn't be left in cages, but set free to enjoy the space which God has planned for them. God ने उनको एक पूरा स्पेस दिया है, एक स्पेस दिया है उड़ने के लिए, स्काई आसमान दिया है. हमें उनको पकड़ के केज के अंदर बंद नहीं करना चाहिए, उनकी फ्रीडम नहीं छीननी चाहिए. Fine children, so did you like this story? Have you learned something from this story? Yes. So, let's see. Our testing time is there. Tick the correct options. We have to tick the correct options now. Anand had developed a hobby of collecting different kinds of flowers, birds, stamps, storybooks. He had developed a hobby of collecting different kinds of birds. Anand's house looked like a school, hospital, mela or exhibition. It looked like a mela. So we tick here. Anand wanted to spend the day with his friends, sister, parents, neighbors. He wanted to spend the day with his friends. Now, next one is write T for true and F for false statements. So, जो सही स्टेटमेंट है उसके आगे T लगाएंगे true and जो गलत है उसके आगे हम F लिखेंगे. F means false. Fine, children? Anand was the most popular boy of the school. Was it? Yes. This is true. He was the most popular boy of the school. A room and a veranda in his house were full of furniture. Were they full of furniture? No, they were full of birds' cages. So this is a false statement. He did not like the melodious chirping and twittering of the birds. No, this is false. Anand liked the twittering of and chirping of the birds. Anand initiated a quiz from a magazine for his friends. Yes, they had to pass the time, so Anand initiated a quiz. Anand got up early and set the birds free. Yes, this is also true, so write T. Anand's mother embraced him the most rudely. No, she embraced him most affectionately. So this is false. Right, F here. Okay, children. Now coming to the fill in the blanks. We have to complete these sentences as we have read in the chapter. One of the rooms in Anand's house and the veranda were full of bird cages. Full stop. The amusing and funny movements of the birds, their chirping and twittering thrilled him and his friends. आप जब अच्छे से रीड करेंगे इस चैप्टर को दोबारा से फिर से रीड करेंगे तो आपको ये लाइंस you will be able to find out these lines. The children were simply fascinated by what? By the antics of the birds. If his younger sister ever protested, Anand turned a deaf ear to her objections. And the last one is, it was 4 p.m. Yet there was no sign of Anand's parents. Fine, children? So, we move ahead. Answer the following questions. Now, you have to answer the following questions. What hobby had Anand developed recently? Anand had developed of collecting different kinds of birds. This hobby was which he developed. Why were Anand's neighbors worried? Anand's neighbors were worried because every time their children used to go to Anand's house and spend time with the birds, seeing the birds. With whom did Anand want to spend the day? Anand wanted to spend the day with his friends. With his friends. Okay? How was it a great day for Anand and his friends when his parents were not at home? When Anand's parents were not at home, it was a great time. It was a great day for all of them because there was nobody to restrict them from doing anything. They could do whatever they like. They could play however they want. When did Anand realize that he too was like the birds in the cage? When Anand and his friends were locked in the home and Anand's parents were taking time to come back, and it became from morning, since morning till evening they were inside the house. Then at that time Anand felt that he was also like the birds in the cage. When did Anand's parents return? Why did they get late? Anand's parents returned at 7 p.m. And why did they get late? They got late because they were stuck in the traffic jam. Now we come to next exercise, forming new words. Okay? Make new words by playing around with the letters of the words given on the left. Here, some words are given. You have to form two new words with the help of this word. First is importance. So, the word formed is import and port. The next is younger, younger. So, what word is to be formed? Young, Y-O-U-N-G, young. Okay, and what else can you form? Okay, children, now we come to the next exercise. It's forming new words. Make new words by playing around with the letters of the words given on the left. There are some words given here. We have to play with the letters of these words and form two new words from this word only. Fine? So the first one is importance. Import and port. Two new words have been formed. Younger, Y-O-U-N-G-E-R, younger. So one is Y-O-U-N-G, young, and the other one is O and on. See, O and on is also. Interest, interest, inter, I-N-T-E-R, inter, and T-E-S-T, test, T-E-S-T, test. Fine? Veranda, R-A-N, ran, and A-N-D, and can also be formed. Planet, P-L-A-N, plan, and N-E-T, net. Two new words. So we have formed new words also. Now let's move ahead. Adjectives, degrees of comparison. There are 3 degrees of comparison. I hope you all must have learned in your grammar the degrees of comparison, children. Often we compare the qualities of things and persons. हम लोगों की qualities और चीजों को compare करते हैं अक्सर. We make this comparison using 3 degrees of comparison. ये comparison हम 3 degrees use करके करते हैं. The positive degree is used to show the simple quality of a noun. एक noun की simple quality को show करने के लिए positive degree का use किया जाता है. शीतू is a clever boy. कैसा boy है शीतू? Clever boy है. So ये positive degree हो गया. The comparative degree is used to show the comparison between two nouns. Two nouns के बीच में. शीतू is cleverer than Michael. यहाँ शीतू और माइकल के बीच कंपैरिजन शो किया गया है. फाइन. सो टू नाउन्स के बीच का कंपैरिजन. शीतू इज क्लेवरर देन माइकल. क्लेवर का क्लेवरर. द सुपरलेटिव डिग्री इज यूज्ड टू शो द कंपैरिजन ऑफ वन नाउन विद ऑल अदर इन द ग्रुप. शीतू इज द क्लेवरेस्ट ऑफ ऑल द बॉयज. सभी बॉयज में से शीतू सबसे ज्यादा क्लेवर है. क्लेवरेस्ट हो गया. ओके. सो क्लेवर, क्लेवरर, clever, cleverer, and cleverest. Fine. These are the 3 degrees of comparison. Now let's see what else is there. Make statements about any person, place, or thing using the different degrees of comparison. यहाँ हमें तीनों degrees का use करके we have to make statements. So let's start the first one. I'll do 3 and rest 3 you will do. Fine. Positive degree. Firstly, positive degree. So let's start with it. Meena is an intelligent girl. Fine. Meena is an intelligent girl. Now comparative. We have to compare between two nouns. Meena is more intelligent than Ritu. So we have made comparison between Meena and Ritu. Meena is more intelligent than Ritu. Now, Meena, superlative degree, Meena is the most intelligent girl. Meena is the most intelligent girl of the class. So, the class of 40 students, Meena is the most intelligent girl. So, rest 3 sentences you make yourself, children. Now, answer these questions orally, okay? Do you think it is right to keep someone caged? किसी को पिंजरे में बंद रखना अच्छी बात होती है? No, it is not right to keep anyone caged. What is so the answer is no here. What is the importance of freedom? Okay, children, if you are free, if you are set free, if you have freedom, what is the importance of freedom? Do you know? We are living in a free country. We are not ruled by anybody. पहले हमें Britishers rule करते थे और how we were treated as slaves. उस time हम free नहीं थे. So now we are free. How free we are to do anything we want under the law. So freedom is a very important thing. You can go anywhere, you can do anything, you have a right to speak whatever you like to. Good. You have to speak good. So freedom is very important in anybody's life. If we are restricted somewhere, someone restricts us not to do anything, then how will we survive? We will not be able to survive if we are closed in a room. If we are closed for days and days, for months and months. So will you be able to survive? No. So freedom is very important, children. Okay. Now, you have to write some sentences about caging the birds must be banned. Now, children, this is the topic. Caging the birds must be banned. You know, this topic has to be discussed amongst yourself. Why caging is to be banned? Because if we cage the birds or any animal, we don't give them the freedom. We restrict them from living in their habitat. We restrict them because we are keeping them in the cage. And cage is not their habitat. उनका habitat नहीं है. Birds और animals का habitat नहीं है. वो रहने की जगह नहीं है cage. अगर हमें कोई हमारे घर से अलग कर देता है, so how do we survive? So this caging of birds for our entertainment, हमें अच्छा लगता है different color के birds देखना, उनकी आवाजें सुनना, तो हम उनको पिंजरे में बंद कर लेते हैं. Just because of our entertainment, we should not cage the birds. So caging should be banned by the government. So write down few lines about this. Now Anand and his friends are telling us what they'll become when they grow up. Use the picture clues and the words in the help box to complete what they say. Okay, the first one is done. Scientists carry out experiments. Pilot flies aeroplanes. Doctor takes care of sick people. Now let's see the exercise kya hai. Here, see, when I grow up, I'll be a scientist. I'll carry out experiments. Experiment क्यों? क्योंकि scientists जो है वो experiments करते हैं. Who is this? Pilot. So here we can write what to write. One I'll do it for you, and the last one you will do yourself. When I grow up, this is a pilot. When I grow up, I'll be a pilot. And what does the pilot do? I'll fly plane. I'll fly planes. Okay? And who is this? Doctor. So when I grow up, I'll be a doctor. I'll take care of the patients. I'll take care of the patient. The doctor takes care of the patient. So write down this in your notebook. Okay, children, here we end with our chapter. I hope you all enjoyed the chapter and had a very good lesson that freedom is very necessary for everyone, be it a human being or animals or birds. We should never ever cage anybody for our entertainment. So, I hope you all enjoyed the chapter. Be connected. Stay excited for the next clamp of video. Till then, bye. Have a nice time.